Good afternoon, gentlemen. Commissioner Lindy Smith with your Week 2 recap. A lot of good action, a lot of trash talking out on the message board. I like to see that. Let's get into this week's action. First game we have on the schedule is the champ at the Darkside Destroyers. Darkside Destroyers doing what the Darkside Destroyers do. Came out and completely dominated from the opening whistle. Put up an amazing 224 points on the champ. Like to see that. Looks like even if the champ had played all of his reserves, or the right reserves, actually he didn't put up a bad total himself, but he lost. And that's all I care about. First blood has been drawn. Good job, Neil. Keep it up going forward. Up next, we got Team Alonzo versus the B Squad, aka Legends of Mon 1. Alonzo, if you remember, suffered a humiliating loss last week, giving up 170 points to the A Squad. What does he do? Does he hang his head? No. He comes back and he beats the B Squad with 175 points. Looks like the B Squad, even if they played all their reserves, couldn't have gotten it done. I like to see that. Good job, Zoe. Way to come back from defeat and win in a convincing manner against the B Squad. Like to see that. Never give up, never surrender. Our next game is going to be the Whip Crackers and the Cap Guns. Whip Crackers, despite losing 2 running backs for significant injuries, still ended up with the victory. Looks like if the Cap Guns play Daniel Thomas over Chris Johnson and the Jets over the Packers, might win that one. Who sees that coming? Not me. So just take heart knowing you put a good lineup in. They just didn't produce the way you needed them to. Look forward to next week. Up next, we have Evil Empire visiting the Back by Popular Demand squad. Evil Empire puts a strong showing forth. Back by Popular Demand. Let's see. How do you win this one? Nope. Didn't play badly. You guys scored. They just happen to outscore you. Stuff happens. We all have to take a loss every once in a while. Don't hang your head. Come back next week and destroy somebody. Which brings us to our final game of the week. Duck Phallus Nation against the Las Vegas Buckhead. Las Vegas Buckhead. Lots of points being scored on that side. Strong showing by the Duck Phallus Nation. Can't really hang our heads too much. The fact that I had Lee Fred Jackson on the bench because I didn't know which Texans running back was going to start sucked. But I woke up this morning happy because no matter which one I started, I still would have lost. Thank you for talking to LeGarrette Blunt for me. He's finally putting some points on the board, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't know any Texans fans, so I'm talking to you directly, Arian Foster. If you suit up, you play. And you play good. Otherwise, just leave your pajamas on, stay home. I let Ben Tate on the bench. If it had mattered this week and I'd have lost because of you, I would have come. I'm coming for you anyway, but I would have found you already by now. That's all I have to say about that. So the standings. In the East, we have the Darkside Destroyers and the Las Vegas Buckhead at 2-0. D-Town Whip Crackers and Duck Phallus are in second place at 1-1. And we got the Cap Guns bringing up the rear 0-2. Still early in the season, plenty of time to turn that around. In the West, we have 4 owners tied for first place at 1-1, followed by the B Squad, Legends of Mon 1, bringing up the rear at 0-2. Still a young season, plenty of time to turn this around, but it's nice to see the loss on the champs record there. Let's keep those piling up. See, everybody else is getting on the team now. We're working toward a common goal. Always keep that in mind. Looking ahead at the schedule for week 3. We got Coop going to Las Vegas to take on the Buckheads. That should be a close game. Should be a high-scoring affair, as it were. We got the Cap Guns visiting the 0-2 Cap Guns visiting the 2-0 Destroyers. That should be an interesting game too. See how that one turns out. We got the B Squad going up against the A Squad. I wonder if the B squad forgets to put in a lineup this week. I wonder if the B squad, I don't know, leaves some studs on the bench and phones it in for this week. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it turns out. We got the D-Town Whipcrackers going at the Duckfellas Nation. Again, D-Town Whipcrackers going to have to hit the waiver wire pretty hard this week. They lost 2 stud running backs, so they're going to need to rebuild a little bit in the interim. And we got Team Alonzo going against the Evil Empire, so we'll see how that one turns out. Both 1-1, both very strong squads. We'll see how it turns out. Like I said, lots of trash talk, lots of venom on the message board this morning. I like to see that. Still talking smack about whether you're going to be in the playoffs or not, whether you're going to be in the postseason or not. Are we on the team or not? Don't let that stuff slide. Just go out there, keep piling up losses in his loss column, and we all win this together. It's not enough that we succeed. He has to fail. That's the way this goes. Good week. Hit the waiver wire. Make sure he ends up with squat. Make sure you better your team at the expense of his team. And just as a side note, there was a trade made between the B team and the A team. B team got Maurice Jones-Drew and he who shall not be named in exchange for a 5th round pick. That 5th round pick turned out to be Matt Ryan. Through 2 weeks, Matt Ryan has 40 points. Maurice Jones-Drew and Peyton Manning together have 27. Just some food for thought. So far, it's all working out for the A team. That's all I have for you this week. Stay strong, stay vigilant, never forget. Keep on it, and I'll see you next week. Kamish, out.